Okay, let's dive right into this explainer. Today, we're unpacking one of life's absolute greatest experiences, romantic love, and why we are constantly fed the absolute worst advice about it. I mean, think about it. To be loved well is to be known accurately, chosen freely, and deeply admired for who you've become. We all want affection that feels totally secure without becoming stale, and passion that deepens over time rather than just burning out. But to actually get there, well, we have to unlearn a whole lot of what we've been taught to get a real grounded overview of what makes love last. You know the phrases, we hear them all the time. Now, on the surface, they sound highly romantic, right? But they're actually dangerous traps. They essentially convince us to leave clear thought and judgment entirely out of our relationships. And here's the catch. When we refuse to understand love, we lose the ability to distinguish it from things that just imitate it. We start mistaking mere attraction for deep compatibility, we mistake need for devotion, and we mistake jealousy for passion. But as the source material reveals, clear thinking doesn't make love smaller. It actually makes better love possible.
Let's move into part one, the myth of blind love. Attraction is an invitation, not a verdict.
So the crucial point here is that attraction basically just opens the front door. True love only deepens when the person you desire proves through their actual actions that they're someone you can deeply admire. Attraction often arrives before you can even explain it, right? A face catches your attention across the room, or a quick conversation just feels incredibly alive. But this is just an automatic response. It doesn't establish what's fundamentally true about a person. Admiration, on the other hand, is a conscious judgment. It's based on character that is revealed over time. Someone can absolutely say they value honesty, but their daily behavior is what supplies the actual evidence.
Next up, part two, when attraction meets admiration, uniting the physical and the personal. This brilliantly illustrates the balance we really need. Let's be real, beauty cannot indefinitely compensate for cruelty or emotional emptiness. Just as duty or obligation simply cannot manufacture romantic desire out of thin air, sexual chemistry, it can create intense, amazing excitement, but it literally cannot create trust. And at the exact same time, you can't just force yourself to romantically love someone simply because they're responsible or kind. If that vital personal attraction is totally missing, it's a two-way street. The absolute richest romance unites all of these elements: body, mind, emotion, character, sexuality, and self-esteem. It's like a giant puzzle coming perfectly together, creating the ultimate joy of being truly known by someone you deeply admire and being desired by someone whose desire actually matters profoundly to you. When all these personal elements align, it creates an irreplaceable bond. It's that perfect union of desiring the person you admire and admiring the person you desire.
All right, moving to part three, why standards strengthen devotion and the danger of unconditional love.
Now, what's really fascinating here is how literal, unconditional love would actually make your partner's character completely irrelevant to the relationship. Think about it. If absolutely nothing could ever change your judgment, then personal growth and cruelty or responsibility and indifference would basically make no difference at all. That's wild, right? High standards are not the enemy of devotion. Actually, scratch that. They are exactly what keeps your devotion firmly attached to something worthy. So while a healthy love absolutely allows room for patience, we're all human, we all make mistakes, we all speak poorly under pressure sometimes, forgiveness only holds real value when wrongdoing is honestly acknowledged and actually corrected. A strong relationship can for sure survive everyday mistakes. But what it should never, ever be expected to survive is chronic deceit, manipulation, or a flat-out refusal to confront destructive behavior. Let's look at how this builds a valid, meaningful apology. Repeated betrayal followed by repeated apologies, that isn't evidence of growth. That is evidence of a pattern that love should never be expected to blindly survive. A real apology means truly understanding what was wrong, fully accepting responsibility, changing the behavior, and then, this is the big one, providing actual evidence over time. Love just cannot make character irrelevant. Which brings us to part four, shared values and self-respect, the principles that build a home. You know, shared interests can easily fill a fun weekend, but it's these deeper shared views on work, freedom, and handling conflict that determine if two people can successfully build a home together. Take productive effort, for example. Two people who are actively building their own lives and have real direction bring something fundamentally different to a relationship than two people who expect romance itself to supply their entire identity. Chemistry might light the fire, but it's these core values that build the sturdy home around it. This perfectly illustrates a vital warning sign. If you don't fiercely value your own happiness, you might start tolerating mistreatment. You might start mistaking jealousy for devotion or accepting tiny little crumbs and calling it commitment. The quality of love you're prepared to accept is directly connected to your own self-esteem. A loving partner should be a massive value in your life, not a wound you have to constantly protect by making yourself smaller, less ambitious, or less honest. Okay, part 5, reason protecting emotion, navigating misunderstandings with reality. Now, what's really interesting here is how it separates those massive, overwhelming feelings from factual reality. Reason doesn't push emotion out of love. It actually protects what the emotion is fundamentally about. An emotion tells you something intense is happening inside you, but reason has to step in and determine what is actually happening in reality. For example, jealousy feels like absolute, undeniable proof of betrayal, but it might just be revealing your own underlying fear. Understanding the true root cause allows a couple to address the real problem, rather than just becoming enemies over competing interpretations. The crucial comparison is this. The strongest romance is literally never about weakness, clinging to weakness out of sheer helplessness. Dependence totally replaces the self. It's needing someone just to have a reason to get up in the morning, basically hiding from life inside each other. But profound attachment, that means you love someone so completely that they bring extraordinary value to your life, but without ever substituting your own individual identity or purpose. You both stand firmly in reality, and you choose to meet it together. Let's move to our final section, part 6, love as an achievement, building a life with your eyes open. The big takeaway here, a truly great relationship is a continuous achievement. That means both people have to actively maintain the exact same conditions and values that gave their love a reason to exist in the first place. You can't just command love into existence out of nowhere, but you do create the conditions where it either thrives or it dies. Admiration must continuously have something real to admire, long after that initial spark. And this quote just hits the nail on the head. Loving with your eyes wide open isn't somehow less romantic just because it makes logical sense. It is far more powerful because it's grounded in genuine knowledge and it's freely chosen. When you see someone completely clearly, flaws and all, and you still choose them because of their deep character, your devotion has profound actual meaning. So as we wrap up this explainer, I'm leaving you with a final thought to really reflect on for your own journey. Romantic love is undoubtedly one of the absolute greatest rewards a person can earn in this life, provided it's built on a foundation of shared values, deep admiration, and crystal clear thinking. It's not just a hole you blindly fall into. It is a magnificent structure you deliberately build, side by side. So what's it going to be? Keep your eyes open and discover just how much more there is to love.